Be in the know with unlimited access to IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. Our in-depth coverage of all things business means you'll always be completely in the know. Subscribe for just $1 a week. Get started now at ibj.com/trial offer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Thursday, March 26, 2026. I'm Alex Brown. Elkhart-based Patrick Industries this week unveiled a digital design environment it says could help eliminate physical prototypes. The Experience is a studio that uses digital technology that renders life-size vehicles complete with fixtures and finishes for RV, marine, power sports, and housing customers before a single component is ever built. President Jeff Rodino.
If we can cut out one prototype from every brand out there, hundreds of brands, we're talking potentially saving this industry millions of dollars by this investment that we made here. And that's just in a year's time, let alone over time. So pretty exciting.
Executives said the approach can compress development timelines from weeks or months into just a matter of days. An analysis from the Indiana Business Research Center at the IU Kelley School of Business shows Indiana added 38,579 residents last year. The report said since 2023, the state has seen an average annual growth of more than 43,900 residents per year, the largest three-year increase since the mid-2000s. Noblesville has reached a sponsorship agreement with Riverview Health that will put the healthcare provider's name on the city's new sports arena. The arena at Innovation Mile, which officially opened in August, will now be called Riverview Health Arena at Innovation Mile. The sponsorship will pay Noblesville more than $500,000 per year for 10 years. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise@ibj.com to learn more.
Federal officials have renewed an order to keep 3 aging coal-fired units at 2 Indiana plants running months after their planned retirement, and utilities say the price tag is quickly climbing into the hundreds of millions.
The U.S. Department of Energy on Monday issued new emergency orders requiring Northern Indiana Public Service Company and CenterPoint Energy to continue operating coal units at the R.M. Schaefer and F.B. Coley generating stations through at least June 21st. The directive extends an initial 90-day order issued in late December under the Federal Power Act. The Indiana Lawyer reported on March 17th that a coalition of groups, among them the Sierra Club, Environmental Law and Policy Center, and Citizens Action Coalition of Indiana, have filed legal challenges seeking to overturn the original orders. Federal officials have argued the move is necessary to avoid potential power shortages and maintain grid reliability across the Midwest. The orders require NIPSCO, CenterPoint, and the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator to ensure the plants remain available to operate despite earlier plans to retire the units at the end of 2025. But utility officials told state regulators this week that complying with the orders is already proving to be costly. At a Tuesday hearing before the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, NIPSCO President Vince Parisi said the mandate will require significant new spending to keep the aging coal units running, including major capital investments on top of day-to-day operating expenses. CenterPoint officials additionally described similarly steep expenses, telling regulators the federal order is driving daily operating costs into the 7 figures. Abriana Herron, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Hammond Mayor Tom McDermott said Wednesday that if the Chicago Bears chose to build a new stadium in Northwest Indiana, the project would not result in any residents being displaced. Speaking at a Michigan City Economic Development Corporation event, the mayor noted, however, that a small number of businesses could potentially be displaced. A time frame for the team making a decision on its new location is not yet known, but Governor Mike Braun told IIB he expects a more definitive answer within the next 2 months. Ivy Tech Community College on Wednesday announced a $3.4 million gift to its campus in Marion with the goal of supporting students in the school's nursing program. The gift from the Dr. Harry Brickley Farm Foundation is the largest gift ever received by the Marion campus and will cover full tuition and fees for 30 nursing students per year for the next 6 years, with the potential for renewal for another 4 years. Chancellor Alex Husky said the gift will help remove a lot of barriers.
With there being a nursing shortage, and again, with us needing roughly 5,000 nurses by 2031, those individuals who are struggling the most with being able to pay for their college education will have an opportunity to have that education paid for. And of course, then it helps our health care and the communities we serve.
Dr. Harry Brickley is a surgeon and farmer who founded the Brickley Farm Foundation in Bluffton in 2016. IU Columbus finance professor Ryan Brewer is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
From breaking news to in-depth articles, discover the advantage of the unlimited access to all news from IBJ and Inside Indiana Business with our limited time trial. Get started now at ibj.com/trial offer.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.